Have you ever walked past an empty playground at night and felt that eerie chill crawl up your spine? The swings move on their own. The creak of chains echoes through the dark, and for a split second, it feels like someone, or something, is still there, playing in the shadows. Tonight, we're uncovering the real stories behind haunted playgrounds, places once filled with laughter and life, but now home to whispers, shadows, and unseen hands. From ghostly children who never left to slides that seem to breathe with energy, these playgrounds hide mysteries that will make you think twice before taking a late-night stroll through your local park. Stay until the very end, because one of these stories has a twist so unbelievable, it might just change the way you look at every empty swing set forever. The playground that never sleeps. Illinois. In a quiet suburban neighborhood in Illinois, there's a playground that seems perfectly normal during the day. Bright slides, colorful swings, the sound of kids laughing. But after sunset, everything changes. Locals call it the playground that never sleeps. Residents began noticing strange things years ago. Swings moved by invisible hands, the merry-go-round spun without wind, and faint laughter echoed long after midnight. What was once dismissed as a prank took a dark turn when security footage revealed shadowy figures darting across the sand pit and glowing orbs hovering near the jungle gym. Investigators later discovered the playground was built over the remains of an old orphanage playground destroyed decades ago by fire. Locals believe the children who perished there still return to play. Some say if you stand near the swings at exactly 3 a.m., you'll hear a whisper, "Come play with us." The Sandbox Secret. Oregon. In 2017, a group of kids digging in a sandbox found something buried, an old, rusted locket with a faded photo of a young girl. Investigators uncovered more: a porcelain doll's face, a burned shoe, an old ribbon. The park was quickly sealed off. Locals whispered that the playground sat atop the land of a family who vanished in the 1950s. Ever since the discovery, lights flicker in nearby homes at the same hour each night, and parents report hearing children giggling outside their windows when the park is empty. Even after reopening, families avoided it. They said the sandbox still breathes, as if the earth remembers what lies beneath. The playground that moves. New Mexico. Hidden in New Mexico is a decaying playground known as the playground that moves on its own. Teenagers once filmed themselves exploring it at night, but what they captured wasn't fun. It was horrifying. Every swing began to move in perfect rhythm. The roundabout spun faster and faster, and yet not a breath of wind stirred. Their camera was later found still recording, showing the swings moving by themselves. Engineers investigated but found no explanation. No wires, no magnets, no tricks. Even chained down, the swings loosened and began to sway again. Locals say it was built on ancient burial land, where unseen children still gather to play long after the living have gone home. The playground that shifts. Georgia. In Savannah, Georgia, sits a playground that seems to rearrange itself overnight. Each morning, city workers find the benches moved, the slide twisted, and the sandbox several feet away from where it stood the day before. One worker claimed he saw mist swirling along the ground before dawn, followed by shadowy figures darting between the swings. Then, the metallic chains began to move on their own. Locals believe the spirits of lost children are rebuilding their playground the way they remember it, or that the earth itself is trying to hide something buried below. The Forgotten Orphanage. Mississippi. During renovations in 2019, workers in Brookhaven, Mississippi, struck something solid beneath the swings. They uncovered remnants of a long-forgotten church orphanage that burned down more than a century ago. Investigators later recorded whispers and faint singing through their audio equipment. Some claimed to see a young girl at the top of the slide, staring silently before fading into thin air. The city fenced off the area, but locals noticed the tape torn down each morning, and toys inside the fence moved overnight. The playground that predicts tragedy. Colorado. In Colorado's foggy mountain town lies Whispering Pines Park, known for carvings that appear overnight on the wooden swings. Names and dates that later match real tragedies. Cameras once caught the carvings forming by themselves, as if invisible hands were etching words into the wood. A little girl once told her mother that the boy on the swing said her name would be next. 2 days later, her family's car crashed on an icy road. The playground was torn down, but the carvings appeared again on the new swings, as if the curse had followed the metal. The playground of protection. Oregon. Not all haunted playgrounds bring fear. Hidden behind an old Portland church is the playground of protection. Locals say during storms, children and stray animals gather there, and the area always remains untouched by lightning or falling trees. Investigators recorded a soft lullaby, almost like ghostly humming. The land once belonged to an orphanage that burned down, and locals believe the children's spirits stayed behind, not to haunt, but to protect. Visitors often leave toys, only to find them neatly arranged in a perfect circle the next morning. The playground beyond time. Appalachia. Deep in the Appalachian forests lies a place few have ever found twice. It appears only under a full moon and disappears by dawn. Witnesses call it the playground beyond time. They describe perfect gleaming swings that feel ice cold and slides that shimmer under moonlight. Cameras malfunction, clocks freeze at 3:17 a.m., and hikers lose days they can't account for. Every witness mentions one chilling detail: a lone swing moving gently, occupied by a faint outline of a child humming the same lullaby from the playground of protection. When daylight comes, it's gone. No footprints, no toys, only the faint scent of burned metal in the air. Conclusion. From ghostly laughter in the night to playgrounds that seem to breathe and move, these stories remind us that even the happiest places can hold lingering shadows. Maybe these spirits just want to be remembered. Or maybe some memories never really die. So, the next time you pass a quiet park after dark and see a swing move when the air is still, don't be too quick to look away. Because sometimes, even silence is calling your name. If you enjoyed uncovering these haunted secrets, hit that like button, subscribe to Ghosty Giggleser, and stay tuned for more eerie tales that blur the line between the living and the unseen. The night hides more than shadows. It hides stories waiting to be told.